The godfather of the West Coast, now you know. With Dusty Vision on the side, we ride. Taking you back to where legends came alive. From ruthless roots to the studio scene. Classic tales that the world's never seen. Every Tuesday night we spark the heat. From 6 to 7, history on repeat. So sit back, tap in, and enjoy the vibe. If you love hip-hop, like and subscribe.
From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the godfather of West Coast hip-hop, and my man, Dusty Vision. What's up with you, Dusty?
Man, can't complain. Lonzo, getting ready for Christmas. Wifey got the house smelling good down there, cooking enchiladas and tamales and all kinds of shit, man. How's your day going?
I'm going to find me some tamales tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find me some tamales. They got some spot in Compton that make tamales. I'm hooking it up.
There you go, my brother.
Yes,
there
sir.
You go, man.
Yes,
Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season. Christmas is here. Merry Christmas. It's official. It came fast this year, Lonzo. Pause to that. No Diddy. But real talk, right?
But it don't feel like Christmas to me, though, man.
It doesn't, man. I said that a couple weeks ago. It's really, yeah.
Dude, it don't feel, man. I mean, you know, I know we had a different childhood, but even as a child, man, Christmas just had a feeling to it. You just felt it. Maybe because we're older now, but you know, even television you don't see the real the TV vibe. TV is so diluted. You don't really see the Christmas vibe. I mean, back in the day, everybody had a Christmas commercial.
Exactly.
From the soda companies to the razor blades, everybody had a Christmas thing, and especially Old Spice. So you see they don't even make that shit no more. So you don't really see get a chance to really engage. I don't see the Christmas light. I see them, but they're not everywhere. It used to be a time it was everywhere. You know, it just makes for a different holiday season, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm glad we made it this far, and we got another year to look forward to. 2026, right here. It's here, man. I couldn't, back in 2000, I never could fathom 2026. It just didn't. Now that we're here, it's almost surreal to me, man.
You know, this year flew by like it had wings, Doc. I don't know about nobody else, but last time I remember we were talking about last show of the year, last year. Here we are this year. Oh, we got one more show to do. That's right. We got one more show to do, but still, it's just so much stuff has gone by. But you know what? A lot of stuff has changed, man. You know, this year we didn't talk about as many dead rappers as we did a couple of years ago. Well, a couple of years ago, we was talking about dead rappers every week. Maybe 40 weeks out of 52, we were talking about dead rappers. You know, maybe somebody's getting it, man. I don't know. Somebody's getting it. It's different.
It's almost like you were reading my mind, because that was one of the first things I wanted to talk about, actually.
Okay.
21 Savage is getting a lot of crap. 21 Savage, he's a rapper out of Atlanta. He's released a lot of projects. He was known for his street vibe, he rolls with the red team down there in Atlanta, so he put a lot of that in his music. But he just released a new project, and he's getting crap from other rappers and street dudes for his recent F the Streets campaign. The streets are done. He said there was a time when being a street dude meant something. Now the dope game is all messed up with fentanyl. You're not getting rich off the streets anymore. If you commit a crime, you will get arrested. Your homie will snitch on you. The streets ain't it right now. And him being quote a street rapper is getting a lot of flack from dudes who still promote the street life. What are your thoughts on that 21 Savage thing, Lonzo?
I'm with 21 Savage all the way, man. A lot of cats, it's amazing, dude. A lot of guys, even my age, man, without the streets, they have nothing. Without the streets, I know guys that in their 60s, man, take away the streets, they've never had anything else to talk about, anything else to associate with. Some of them moved into church, but even that comes with a limited opportunities, put it that way. And yeah, the streets have never been a place for a career, but a lot of guys thought it was a place for a career. You know, we glorify. Me and my cousin was talking today. We as a people glorify the damnedest shit to make seem to be something to attain to. What I mean by that is, I love watching Landman on Sunday. You watch Landman? Oh man,
Mm-mm.
I watched
Oh,
Landman.
my brother just told me about that. Is that the one
Man.
where they talk about the history of talk to me?
Landman is with Billy Bob Thornton. These guys, they've been in Texas. They're oil barons.
Oilman. My brother just told me about that 2 days ago. I got to watch it now that you said something.
You know, and you see the family doing. You got this. The dad was this. The grandfather was an oil man. The son was an oil man, and the grandson is an oil man. And you see different people, different walks of life in this thing. People making a lot of money, and I can't think of any drama, black drama, that's not dope or gangster related. Although they have some that are church related, either it's church, either it's gospel or gangster. Nothing else between. You have never seen a black family build a trucking company, a real estate company, and there's a lot of drama in trucking, a lot of drama in real estate. Well, you can create some drama. You can create drama in anything if you really want to show somebody doing something. But I just noticed, man, that all the shows that our generation, especially of right now, tend to support are all street related shows. And people are dying. It's all drugs, all gangs, different gangs, whether it's Latino gangs, whether it's black gangs, whatever the case may be. I watch Force. I'm old enough to know Force. I'm old enough to know Force is bullshit. Everybody don't know that. Everything you're watching is what my mama used to call back in the day soap operas. These are men soap operas. Like what's that show? Next Life to Live, As the World Turns. All those shows, General Hospital, all those shows were soap operas. My mama used to watch while she would iron clothes and do whatever she did back in the day. Well, we have the same type of shows here nowadays. They're not so much soap operas. And they were called soap operas because they were sponsored by detergent companies. Because most of the time they were being watched by housewives. They want you to buy Tide and Clorox and all those things. That's how they got the name soap operas. But nowadays, we got the dope operas. We got dope operas. We got nothing but dope operas. Every show, somebody's selling cocaine, pills, whatever. Now they selling fentanyl on the force. And Tommy didn't want fentanyl, but not because Tommy got voted out by the cartel or the coalition, whatever they called it, the co-op. Now they have to sell. Now they're gonna sell fentanyls. And when you see these shows, man, you're like, damn, dude, this only thing these guys can do is kill each other and sell dope. Kill each other, and like the cops don't really exist. The cops are just there as support, just to give a little extra attention, but they don't ever do shit. But again, this is what our generation is instilled in their heads as being a means of support. Is the only way you're gonna get paid is to sell some dope. And yeah, I'm with my man. Streets ain't where streets has never been where it was for me, but it takes people a long time sometimes to realize that all money ain't good money, and that's the problem.
Now, this is very reminiscent what you're talking about what's being pushed out there in TV land and movie land, but it's very reminiscent of the early 90s when gangster rap was the main thing being pushed out there. But that's what the audience wanted. Is it the consumer? Is it the consumer's fault because that's what we want, or is it the TV, film, and music industry's fault for continuing to pump out that negativity?
It all depends on what market you're in. The market in down south, they want to hear the blues. Market in southern countries, they want to hear country and western. So your consumer determines what you push. Sometimes nowadays, because marketing has got the psychology behind marketing has gotten so pinpoint, they can just pretty much market everybody to the same thing. When you have celestial radio, certain radio stations only play certain kind of music. And you were in this area, once you cross when you travel through Texas, radio stations changed. You had your top 40, you had your pop, and you had your country and western, and you had some of your blues stations. Sometimes the country and western and the blues station would go hand in hand, but most of the time, the rap stations and the country and western stations did not, they didn't coincide on the same channel. Now you may have a company may own a country station and a rap station, but the frequencies do not share the same music. Now, because things have gotten so diverse, You can literally program music to an individual. Think about it, man. When you have your Spotify list, nobody else has this. Nobody has the same list. Nobody has the same list. Whatever your musical taste is, your stream is catered to your particular stream. So there is no saturation of one particular type of music, but you can go after a certain group of people with the music because you know what they want to hear. You have an idea of what they've been programmed to hear, and they become accustomed to it. Whether you can dance to it, whether it's socially demeaning or whatever the case, means nothing. All I know is I can sell commercials while they bobbing their head.
Yep. How hard is it right now to be in the music industry, Lonzo? 2025 compared to 1985. It's always been hard, different hardships though in different decades. How hard is it to be in the music biz? Easy?
You can be. What are you? Here's the question. Are you in the business of making music for it to be streamed, or are you in the business to make music for it to be sold? The two are not related. You can get some crumbs from feeding an algorithm and making yourself some money. Most of the time, it will not be financially sustainable. Or you can sell a few records and make you a living. Prince talked about this back in the day in the 90s, man, how Mariah Carey got a big $20 million deal or whatever it was. But she had to sell so many records to meet this qualification to get to $20 million. For her to get $20 million, the record company got damn near $500 million because of the way the deal is structured. It's the same thing, only it's worse now. You got to get 1 billion streams to get what, $1,000, $10,000, whatever the case may be. I know when Robin Thicke had that big ass song, and him and Marvin Gaye's family was fighting. He got like $1,200 for that shit, man. So if you're making music to be sold or to be streamed, that is the difference. Now, Berry Gordy, Motown, had a thing. If you ever watched the Motown story, he had every week they'd have their company meetings, and they played different songs that was produced the week before. And the question was to the people: would you rather buy this song or would you rather buy a sandwich? Would you rather buy this song or buy a sandwich? And if you said buy a sandwich, buy the song, they had a hit record. If you said buy a sandwich, they go back to the drawing board. A lot of songs, a lot of songs that got passed on for sandwiches became B-sides later on, but the hits, people agreed that was the hit. I would buy this song before I bought a sandwich. Nowadays, that's not an option because all your music is kind of force-fed based on algorithms as opposed to the decisions from a retail perspective. You don't go into a store and just looking for something else and somebody plays something else. Yes, now you go to your streaming platform to listen to something else, and something else may be attached to that streaming platform, and they'll get a stream. Now, if somebody else likes it, it may get more streams, blah, 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 videos, whatever the case may be. But the bottom line of your answer is it's easy to get records on the streaming platforms, but it's difficult for you to get paid from them. That's the difference.
Hard to get paid. It's harder to get paid than it was in 85, probably, right?
Right, by all means. I mean, we never sold. Turn Off the Lights is our biggest seller, and Macola stole most of the money on that. But we still were able to eat and gig off the money. We were able to eat and gig off the money, gig and eat off the money. So those two combinations gave us a decent income for a while. Well, damn sure gave me one. Everybody else gone. So same thing with our first album. It's always been difficult to sustain yourself with a record deal without gigging, without doing shows. Always. Because the record deals are so structured so crazy. Unless you sell a whole bunch of records, you don't get no money for a while. You have to be a financial and budgeting wizard to survive on a record deal. Especially your first one. Because you can get $100,000, you got to go to the studio, pay everybody studio time, engineers, musicians, tape, blah, blah, blah. $100,000 can turn into $15,000, $20,000 easy left over. And if you got multiple members, that ain't no money. So everybody has to maintain themselves some other way. Hopefully, you'll be able to go on tour and start promoting the album soon. And if that album catches on, then you maybe get some real shows. Now y'all can eat and do what you love for a living and eat off your efforts. But if it don't hit, y'all gonna be parking cars. And that's real talk.
There it is. We got some great questions coming in. Go ahead and post them in the chat. If you have any questions for me or the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, I'll copy and paste them and we'll definitely get to them. But I want to get to this one now because it's right along the lines of what we're talking about. The STEM Radio says, hey, Lonzo, talk about the songwriter. Is that a profession going the way of the dinosaur thanks to AI?
No. I am a songwriter, first and foremost. I'm a poet. I'm a songwriter. That's why I can sit here and talk to y'all off the top of my head on a regular basis with no script, no makeup, no hair, no paycheck. That was one of my lines. Because of AI, I'm able to express myself as a songwriter. Take my ideas, put them into various platforms, and come out with nice ass music, man. And in fact, I'm putting the finishing touches on the album right now called Godfather Music. It's a whole about 6 to 10 songs I've been working on. And for me as a grown ass man, it's different. It's real shit, man. It's reality music and I'm not, again, I'm not doing it to go platinum. I'm just doing it to express myself. And that makes a difference. If you try to do this just to eat, get a job, go get on fries. But if you do something that you love, you'd be surprised. You might find somebody that can relate to what you're saying. I don't think AI is going to kill anything. I think it's going to give it a new life, a new opportunity. I subscribe to a lot of AI groups, and people are now using AI to help create loops so they can reproduce. Just like the same thing what Dre was doing back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
He would grab a record and
AI samples like a mug.
Yeah, take AI and sample the AI, or replay the AI. Now it's yours. You own that master now. So, and there's some people like myself who will be producing straight songs through AI. Now, what I have not mastered yet is to be able to put my own voice on my material. I'm working on that right now. That's my next exercise, is to bring my voice to it and let AI auto-tune my voice to become, the actual voice of my projects. Now, here's the crazy part. You ain't heard a real drummer in God knows how long. You ain't heard a real set of horns in God knows how long. All you heard recently is just voices. So people, they said the same thing about drum machines and MIDI when in the 80s. Oh man, you're gonna put the musicians out of work. You're gonna put the whack ones out of work for damn sure. You're gonna put the whack ones out of work. I think AI is going to make a lot of people step up. A lot of creatives are going to get a chance to express themselves, like myself, and it's going to eliminate the bullshit. Because you don't have to listen to bullshit no more. You don't have to. Now you can make bullshit with AI too, but you don't have to. And that is going to be the difference. I think we're going to get a better caliber of music because AI tends to, contrary to what they want. That shit be banging. I'm sorry. Some of that shit be banging. And it's and we had this conversation with my friend from my app, Band Buzz. That's another way we're gonna sell records, sell music. It's through Band Buzz. I'll tell you about that more. But one of the ladies was like, we don't want to hurt the musicians. I'm not here to hurt or help musicians, but I'm here to my goal is to appeal to the consumer. Just like with DJs. Oh man, you're not a real DJ because you DJ on a console as opposed to turntables. And ain't nobody ever told me they're not gonna dance to my music because I was playing on a console versus a set of turntables. The consumer don't care about that. The consumer does not care. Only person cares are the person behind the turntables or the person behind the console, and that means nothing. That means nothing. I tell you, everybody about to be in trouble because in a matter of minutes, DJ is gonna be hard to get a gig. It's gonna be hard to get a gig because you don't really need a DJ anymore. So many people, man, are just plugging into different playlists on YouTube, Spotify, whatever the case may be, and actually and truthfully, I think I figured out a way to DJ multiple parties at one time right here from the studio. I know that sounds crazy as hell. Because I can send you a link to your house. All you need is a couple of speakers, and I can rock your house, get your playlist, we get your request right here from my computer, and supply you with the music you want for your party. And if I'm doing basically the same kind of parties, now again, if you're talking about doing a bunch of oldie but goodie parties, I'm Lonzo. It's like a radio station. You got radio stations that play oldie but goodies. You got radio stations that play trap. You got to play gangster rap. Now, if you have one that plays a little bit of all of them, or you have a specific crowd, I can get booked right now and play 2 or 3 parties for 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, and not be in the room. Or, shit, I could drop a link in there so I'm going to see everything in the room. If the technology has changed so much, a lot could be done. A lot could be done from a laptop and a couple of phones. Not saying you got to hear it, you got to play it from the phones. But if somebody was at a Dusty's house right now, if I was doing Dusty's party and somebody had a phone, I can see if anybody was dancing, who was partying to my music. I could keep on programming my music based on watching Dusty's phone from this computer right here. And I'd have multiple views of multiple parties.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new world, man. Damn.
I mean, everybody's buying these power speakers with Bluetooth. So, damn, it could be done. It could be done. It could be done. It's not impossible by no means.
Nightbreed has a good question. He says, yo, Dusty and Lonzo, could you break down why Easy did EPs? Well, I'll take it a step further and ask you, Lonzo, why would an artist release an EP as opposed to an LP? And explain what an EP is for whoever doesn't know. Sorry.
An EP is usually three to four songs, probably 3 songs with instrumentals on the flip side. Why? Because either you're working on an album or you don't have a big budget. So you give them 3 bangers, I'll get you back on the road. An album will take you 6 months to a year to finish. You can do 3 songs, you can do 3 songs in a month. Have them out on the streets, promote them, and be gigging 6 weeks after that. Drop one of them as a single, work on 2 more, and go to work. An album requires a major budget. A major budget back then was $50,000 to $100,000. You can drop 3 songs, I don't know, $5,000, $10,000. Package them up, have them ready to go, especially if you got your banger. You figure, think about this. The average album back then maybe had 4 or 5 good songs on there, maybe 4. An EP, most of the EPs, they're going to give you all bangers. They don't have time for throwaway cuts. An album was created to get more money, but you got throwaway cuts. George Clinton was a master of that shit. George Clinton would give you 4 tracks on the album. One side of all knee deep, the extended version, some hullabaloo bullshit after that, and then on the other side, I don't even know what language they speak. I have no idea what language they in, but it's considered an album. You got 15 minutes of knee deep on one side. There's some other shit you don't know what it is. Why? Because it's 22 minutes of music on a album. From the time the needle drops to the last little few grooves headed towards the label, there's 22 minutes worth of music for an album. Okay. Now, you got it in the old days, you might have 12 songs on an album. And people were like, that's a lot of songs, but you had a different production system back then. You had musicians, and they could knock them songs out in a matter of time. And it was a different situation. After a while, disco came in, and when guys like George Clinton realized, shit, I'm gonna put 5 songs on this whole 6 songs on this whole project, 2 on one side, 4 on the other. But I'm gonna give you this super banging son of a bitch that you don't care is 15 minutes long. But I'm gonna give you 6 more minutes of bullshit. Eazy-E understood that. To make an EP like we did, we had World Class Records, we had 2 albums and 1 EP. A single, you drop a single, unless that single is a major smash hit, you're taking a gamble. Turn Off the Lights was a single that we created to be the follow-up to Lovers, and it just so happened it worked. And we had to make an album to follow it up. And a lot of times that'll happen too. People will drop a single be so hot, you got to make an album. Now the album gonna get you your money. You don't make money on singles. You make more money on EPs. A single gonna sell for maybe $2 back in the day. A single record might cost you $2.50. Well, I mean, it might sell it for $2.50 to the wholesaler. A EP might get $3.50. An album gonna get you $6 or $7. If you do a CD, it's $10 automatically, wholesale. So it's worth it to do a CD. But again, and all of them cost the same amount of money to manufacture. When I say manufacture, I'm talking about from the time you take the parts to the pressing plant, it's $1 for a single, $1 for an album. Don't make no difference. $1 for an EP to press it. But the production cost is where your money comes in at.
Talk to us about that process with World Class Record Crew, going from, okay, we got single, and now we got to work on an album. You know, how did that mentally, how did you, prepare for, okay, now we got to write a bunch of songs and release this album?
For us, it was kind of easy, man. We was always in competition with Uncle Jam's Army, and when Egypt dropped Egypt, we had to come up with something that was going to be compatible. That's when we dropped Juice and Surgery and Juice, and Egypt still was kind of banging. It was kind of banging. So we had to do something to compete with that. We wanted to be the first West Coast act to have an album, and we wanted to include a slow song, and that's when you got Lovers and the World Class album. And we wrote all those songs in my garage at my other house. Gang Bang You Dead, World Class, Horny Computer, Juice, Surgery. Or I had Juice and Surgery, so we had to write 3 more songs to. That album had 7 songs on it. So we had to write Horny Computer, Gang Bang You Dead, World Class, Surgery, Juice, and Lovers. It was 6 songs on that album. I might be missing one, but yeah, it was a different process because we were different guys back then. Gang Bang You Dead was an anti-gangbanging song, patterned after What People Do for Money. Horny Computer was something we just made because everybody was talking about something sexy with computers. World Class, that was supposed to be my song. And because I was working on a song called Bass Cadet, and we just changed it up to World Class. And that was pretty much it. Lovers was our introduction to it, our answer to LL Cool J's I Need Love. The West Coast version of that for 4 guys, patterned after Float On by the Floaters.
All right, we're about halfway through the show already. The show is flying by just like this year did. Before you guys get too comfortable, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button. Go ahead and smash it now. It really helps out the algorithm. It lets YouTube know that we exist, so it means more than you know if you smash that like button for us. So if you haven't already, just go ahead and hit it right now. Really appreciate it. It's Christmas time, so donations are accepted. Ding, 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 ding. There's a little cash app, little cash $sign right below the chat if you're feeling a little giving this holiday season. Throw the channel a few bucks. We would really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to ask you guys to join me at 7:00 p.m. as soon as this show's over on my channel. I'm going to put the link in the description. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite holiday hip-hop songs. We're going to be talking about Run DMC, Outkast, Curtis Blow. We're going to be going through all of them. A couple of you might have already heard this episode. It is a best of, but still join in, get in that holiday spirit, and come and join your boy. And please do join me at 7 o'clock on my channel. And Lonzo, why don't you give a shout out to Band Buzz before we continue?
If you are an artist looking to be able to sell your merchandise, your music, your merchandise, posters, interact with your fan base, you need to have Band Buzz. It's not for artists that's trying to stream. Band Base is for artists that's trying to sell music, sell merchandise, actually make some money with your product. Band Base is available on iTunes and iPhone and Google. It's an app. I'm involved in this app. I help develop it. I help put it together. It's developed by artists for artists. It's an e-commerce app. It's tied to Stripe, which means you get your money instantly. If you gig it, if you are an artist that's doing shows, when you register with Band Buzz, you'll get your own QR code. That QR code takes your fan base, wherever your fans are, straight to your Band Buzz site where they can still sample your music, listen to what you did, and buy it right then and there. Ain't no get back with me. Ain't no 50 streams to get a penny. Whatever price you sell for your music, minus 25%, that's Band Buzz's cut. Go straight into your Stripe account instantly, just like getting paid on Cash App. So I'm about to catch a case, because every time I tell, man, so-and-so does that, so-and-so does that, they may do it. They don't do it all in one cohesive app. And that's the beauty of it. You can promote your QR code, put it on a business card, on 8x8.5, 8x10 glossies, get a banner made for you when you performing on stage, put your QR code on a banner. As people dig into your music, let them scan your shit and see what else you got on your page. That's how you make money. They can buy your t-shirts. You can set up live phone calls with your fans, charge whatever you want to charge, and you get all that money minus 25%. You can do meet and greets with your fans. I'm gonna do a book signing at a meet and greet. I'm gonna give away free books. You sign up for the meet and greet. I'm gonna give you a free book. Okay, that's something I'm working on for 2026. When you do a meet and greet, I'll sign the book. We can talk the whole 9 yards, and I'll give you a book while we're doing the session. So Band Buzz, folks. I don't get behind shit, man. I don't do y'all. I don't even run commercials on this podcast, but I'm gonna do one for Band Buzz because Band Buzz is the shit. Okay, look for my QR code for Godfather Music. If you like some cool shit, some inspirational shit, some motivational shit, I do motivational shit, man. I do real man music. Okay, I talk about issues. It ain't about no bullshit. I got a couple of songs that's fire on this thing too. I'm gonna drop them right after the holiday, man. Go on, Grandmaster Music. It's available exclusively on Band Buzz. So yes, I'm gonna probably do a listening session or something. That's what I'm gonna do in the meeting. I'm gonna do a listening session, man. Yeah, we're gonna set that up. I hope I get everybody online to come out and check it out, folks. Band Buzz. Download the app. It's free. If you're an artist, if you're a fan, just want to hear new music that's available to buy, go to Band Buzz on the Apple Store and Google Play Store, and you download it, check it out. That's absolutely free. And I would tell you, if you have somebody who's an artist who has music they want to sell, if you're a gigging artist, if you're doing shows and you want to sell your music, download Band Buzz. I wouldn't lie to you. You're gonna thank me for it. Trust me.
There it is, Band Buzz, BANDBUZZ. Let's go and continue with the show, Lonzo. We lost a few people in 2025, unfortunately, and gonna name a few, and I just would love a little story about them, reminisce, give them some love. Let's start in February 2025. We lost Richie Rich, LA Dream Team, and World Class Wrecking Crew. Talk to us about Richie Rich.
Richie Rich was probably the coolest non-committal artist you ever want to meet. I don't ever remember Richie Rich making an album or a single, or anything like that. But he was like that utility man, like Robert Horry back in the day for the Lakers. He might show up on the LA Dream Team stage dancing with them. You might see him on the World Class Record Crew dancing with us. He was just a smooth dude that he is a producer. He was a rapper. He could dance. None of these things were over the top. Never was a single artist, but he was always around the industry. And when somebody needed somebody to fill in a slot, he was always available. Yeah, he died in February this year. And him and Battle Cat was super tight. Super tight. He's the one that introduced me to Battle Cat. Now, when Dre left, Richie Rich introduced me to Battle Cat, and I got this youngster, man. He's pretty dope. You got to give him a shot, and I did. That's how you got Battle Cat. But yeah, Richie Rich, good dude, good dude.
All right, talk to us about Battle Cat, man. Talk to us about, how his name was ringing on the streets, how he, got to be where he is today as one of the best producers, DJs in hip hop history.
Battle Cat came to me. He was about 16, 17 years old, right after Dre and them left. And I gave Battle Cat access to my studio, my turntables, my SP1200, everything I had in the studio, he had access to. And he started making music. Dre showed him how to work the 1200, and he started making music, and he started producing groups with my 1200. And he take the turntables, he sampled, he did his thing, and he would go on tour with us as well. He's toured me for a couple of shows. And he was a young cat, young skinny dude. I mean, young skinny dude, hula hoop with a Cheerio, all that good shit. And he was a hothead, but he was a hothead that would listen. And that was one thing that I always loved about him. Even though he had this young way of dealing with things, I could talk to him. And he and I butted heads a few times as a youngster, but he understood now because I never met Battle Cat's dad. I never met his dad. His mom trusted him to come go on the road with me, but she said the rule was he had to crash in my room. He couldn't stay with nobody else. All right, cool. I got a story about that that's so cool about Battle Cat, Richie Rich, and a female to be named. I can't even say it on the internet, but it was one of the funniest, most craziest nights I ever had on the tour. I got more crazy stories about Battle Cat than anybody else. And he know I don't talk about him because he's very sensitive about those stories. But yeah, we had a great time on the road, and he's a unique dude, and I'm very proud of him because he's another brother in my downline. Another brother came straight out of the camp, blew up, and he still got love. Just talked to him last week. Still got love for him. Yeah. I saw him on the TDE stage with Snoop and Dre last week.
Shout out to Battle Cat, man. Before we continue, Sarah wants to know, Lonzo, what is your favorite Christmas movie? I said Friday After Next. That's probably mine out of all. But what about you, Lonzo?
I'm same one, dude. Same one.
There we go. Yeah, classic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I watched Friday After Next just the other day, man.
I've watched it twice this season already.
I was laying in bed watching TV, and it came on. You know what? I don't know if y'all know this or not. Anybody fuck with Pluto, the television channel?
Pluto? Of course, man. Pluto's taking over, Lonzo. Man, they're taking over. They have everything now.
I'm about to cancel.
Yeah, you don't need Netflix anymore.
I'm about to cancel some shit, man. Because I discovered Pluto on a humbug, and I love the way Pluto do their programming. Because they'll play all the Rambos, all the Fridays. If you change programs, the comedies or whatever, oldies, whatever, they'll play a whole bunch of stuff linearly back to back. And I'm like, man, that's fire. Because I used to watch Spectrum. I have Spectrum on my TV. I don't watch Spectrum that much. Huh? I don't watch Spectrum. I watch my Paramount Plus, which comes with my I watch Stars, which is part of my Paramount Plus program. But Pluto, man, give me everything I need. Shit.
Yep.
Pluto and Tubi.
Tubi too, man. Tubi's taking over also, man. Real talk. People used to joke about Tubi. Now Tubi is one of the biggest players in the game. No BS.
Man, look, check out Eve After Dark on Tubi. I'm about to drop N.W.A. on Tubi. Okay, I'm trying to cut a deal to get Pluto to do a hip hop channel. I'm trying to get to a hip hop channel and have Straight Outta Compton, N.W.A, Even After Dark all on the same channel, along with other hip hop, because hip hop documentaries should have their own fucking channel. They get thrown into everything else, and you might want to know about Wu-Tang Clan. You might want to know about somebody else, and everybody has a documentary, but they just get lost in the sauce.
All right, before we continue, I want to play this clip for you, Lonzo. You heard it, but I want you to respond to it. It's always good to get mentioned. The Game showed you love back on Fig. I do believe that was a podcast. Let me go and pull this clip up here. Shout out to The Game.
Real hip hop, West Coast to East Coast to Africa and back to be better than niggas. My hip hop knowledge from Toddy T, you know what I'm saying, and Lonzo and the Wrecking Crew, all the way to whoever's right now with the fucking the Compton AVs and the 80s and shit. Nigga, I'm from old school to new school.
How does it make you feel, man? Someone's, like The Game, one of the best to ever do it, is mentioning you.
I got love for Game. With me and Game's mama been friends forever. He was a baby. We go back. Me and Lynette, that's his mama's name. I brought her into the Metal Exotic Game, and he shook his nuts for a while at the Studio East back in the day. But I'm not saying that.
Yes, Game was a stripper, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that correctly. At Lonzo's Club.
I'm not saying that to clown. I'm just giving you some straight up history. And he's always showed nothing but respect. When I was Game in last February during the Black History Month, he was one of the featured speakers in Compton. And I was there. I was inside. I just spoke earlier, and he pulled up. I walked outside, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey man, Game wanted to come over to where he is to get a picture with you." And I was really, okay, cool. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really interact. But he when I'm in his presence, I get much love. And for him to show that respect without having to show that respect, that was very, very appreciated. It ain't like what 8 did. It's a difference. When you got somebody that actually appreciates the evolution of West Coast hip hop and not, dude, how do you can't clown the evolution, because the evolution got you where you are. Without the evolution, there is no you. So for him to understand there was a Toddy T and Mixmaster Spade and Lonzo and everybody else, all that right there is a part of what Compton chain, and that's very important for people to understand that. And I appreciate the mention, no matter where it is.
So we got to dive a little bit deeper. We talked about it in the past, been a few years, but how did that come about to where The Game started, stripping, I guess, for lack of better words, at your club? Did he approach you? Did his mom sell up? No. Like, was his mom pimping him off? Like, what do you remember about that?
Very little, because, well, basically what it was, I was doing Eve After Dark. I had the keys to Eve over 40 years, and I started doing Metal Exotic at Eve After Dark. His mom was my partner. She and I was partying on the shit, and I got called to go back on tour. I had some gigs down south, about 10, 15 gigs down south, and they pay a lot more money than Metal Exotic. And I took the gigs. I left her with the business. By the time I got back and unpacked my clothes, she was the queen. She was, what's that lady's name? Got the stripper show on BET. She was homegirl. Okay. Damn it, Madam. She was Madam.
Oh, okay.
She had a group of dancers called Bad Boys. That was her name. Her group, Metal Exotic troupe, was Bad Boys. And Metal Exotic pays. Brothers clown, you want to. You laugh at your brother shaking his nuts if you want to. Laugh, but the brothers laugh straight to the fucking bank. And I'm not talking about a couple $100. I'm talking about thousands. Depending on who you are and what you look like, what you built like, you get your nut shaking, but get you thousands in a matter of minutes, and get you all the poontang you can eat, all you can handle. All right. And I presume, I don't know the story, but Game was actually young. He might have been 17, and she gave him a slot. Dude, I've seen guys come to visit me or come to visit and get in. What the fuck? They can start doing push-ups. Okay. I'll be back next week, man. I've had guys come in. I met a brother at the gym one time. Hey, man, you ought to come by the club. I can see you might make you come. And it was really hard to talk to this cat too. And say, bro.
Just lost Lonzo mid-conversation, talking about the game.
Hold on. We'll be all right. We get it back.
Up there he is.
There you go.
There we go. All right, go ahead. You said you were at the gym, dude.
Gym,
see a dude?
Young brother. And I don't want to spend. It's hard to tell a brother you in the strip club. And hey man, you gonna come out my club? I'm a male strip club. So come on by the club, check out what I'm doing. If you like it, you might be interested. He came by. He got out that night. Like, man, we gonna give me some dollars right quick. He got out that night. And man, sure, good looking out. I know what you were trying to get. Nah, bro, it ain't nothing but some money over here. So yeah, it was fun, Doc. It had its benefit. You always on the lookout for new potential dancers, and that's one of the things that especially LA, a lot of guys have gotten old. A lot of these guys in their late 40s, early 50s, still getting their money. Okay, for real. A lot of these guys were dancing with Lynette. Lynette hadn't been in the dance game in God knows how long. Some of the guys started with her back in the 90s and was still dancing. Okay, real. But if you saw some of the gifts these guys got for their birthdays, if you really, really was into that lifestyle, I've seen the guy get $42,000 in 30 minutes. 42 grand. 42 grand is the record at the studio East, and I was there. 42 grand. Another brother got a whole beamer. Bow, a big old bow on the hood out in front of the club. I haven't seen so many pair of Jordans and TV sets come up to the club. It's ridiculous. Brothers can laugh. I ain't mad at you. Everybody ain't cut out for that. And usually the ones that laugh at it are the ones that can't do it.
Let me do a couple push-ups real quick, man. I'll be right back. See if I can make this money.
Yeah, and I see women encourage their men to go out there. Man, we gotta get because, dude, it's like that. But yeah, he did this thing for a minute. I don't know the exact way it transpired, but that's what I would assume. Either he was impressed with the money, or his mom said, "You might want to get out of the shop, boy, and get yourself a couple of dollars."
All right, let's talk about a couple more deaths before we wrap it up here, Lonzo. We also lost Hitman Howie T. You talk to us about Hitman Howie T.
Howie T, from my brother from Salt and Pepper's producer, correct?
Yeah, yep. Amongst a few other things, yeah.
That dude right there was the guy he was admired by Dre and anybody with turntables and studio aspirations. He was the guy to be. I remember meeting Howie T. I flew him in. I had Salt and Pepper at Skateland. He came with him. I think he was dating Salt at the time. And he seemed to be a pretty cool dude. Again, back then, I was doing so much, I didn't have a chance to really interact with folks, but he seemed like a pretty cool dude. He was the man of the hour at that time. He was the Dr. Dre before Dr. Dre from the East Coast. Him and, what's his name? John Smith? Or what's his name? Played the bass. He did all the Houdini stuff. Damn. Larry Smith.
Not Larry. Larry Smith, yeah.
Larry Smith, Hitman Howie T, and a few other cats. Also, man, I got a post today. Today is the date. Not John Lil, but Ecstasy died. It's today is the anniversary of his death. He died 23rd, 2 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, so it is what it is, man.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah. So who else we got, Doc?
Let's see, man, Dr. David Funkenstein Storm.
Man,
talk to us about him.
Dr. David Funkenstein Storm was one of the coolest brothers from Uncle Jam's Army. Although he ran with Uncle Jam's Army, he was a true ambassador of hip hop because he ran between Wrecking Crew and Uncle Jam's Army. He was Uncle Jam's Army dude, but he would show up at Eve After Dark like nobody's business. we never had a crossword. We hung out from time to time. He was one of the smoothest brothers from the game. And he all this stuff. Good doctor is in the house. And only brother I know is 60 years old, had a head full of, still had this big ass natural. Nigga died with a natural. Okay. No hole in it whatsoever. But he was just a smooth brother, good dude. Grew up with Roger from Uncle Jam's Army. I forgot what school he went to. I think he might have went to Norvine. I'm not sure. But just a good dude. And like I said before, when we was feuding, he'd always say, "Hey man, dude, that's some big wig shit. I'm just an Indian. I come to get my groove on even after dark." And that's why I always liked it.
What about D'Angelo? That was a big one, man. You know, D'Angelo.
Ooh, man, that was a shocker, man. Because I didn't know the brother was sick. I'm waiting for the brother's music to come back. D'Angelo, when he dropped Brown Sugar, and that was in '94, man, that was a game-changing song, man. That whole album was a game changer. And it befuddles me, that's my new word, befuddles me today in 2025, why nobody's ever been able to keep that genre of music going. Neo Soul, man, that was the smoothest shit we ever had. That whole album, My Lady, come on, man. I still bump that shit. I bump more shit from the 80s and 90s than I did anything else, man. You got to understand, D'Angelo he was up against some of the best, man. He still had to fight. He had to go up against Michael Jackson and Prince and still sustain his, with a new genre. Everybody don't do that, man. Everybody can't do that. And he did it. He had a great career. I love what he did. When he came out, I know his most controversial thing was that song he did when he came out butt ass naked, okay, and just sang. The next time I saw him again, he was bloated like, who did you eat, dude? Damn. Anyway, good dude. I never met him personally, but I was a big fan of him.
We also lost Malcolm Jamal Warner. Talk about him, and also talk about going back to what we were discussing earlier in the show, where there aren't any TV shows on like The Cosby Show, that portrayed us as not as gangbangers or dope dealers. Talk about the impact of The Cosby Show and Malcolm Jamal Warner.
I after Malcolm Jamal Warner died, I saw an interview with Eddie Griffin. And one of the reasons why they were taken off the air is because they wouldn't succumb to the bullshit of the network. They were two black men running the bar. They had a couple of crazy girls. Homegirl, she was crazy about Eddie, I think it was. And the storylines were cool. They was trying to make him silly and stupid, and neither one of them wanted to go for it. And Malcolm always gave me that again, I never met him before, but he always had that sophisticated vibe about him. He was his own man. And when you see guys like that on TV, he was always the same way. He was always the same kind of character. Never did anything stupid. He could have played a lawyer. He could have played a teacher. He could have played anything like that, but he was always had his own style. And even when he was Theo on The Cosby Show, he had his own style, and he always had a vibe that just appeared to be a smooth brother. And to see him die the way he did, and especially when there was so much controversy around it, that just lets you know that he, sometimes you can't do. I ain't gonna say that. Sometimes you just play ball. Sometimes you got to play ball.
It's almost like you were reading my motherfucking mind. You do that too much, Lonzo. I barely started watching it today. I was hoping to watch it before the show, but I haven't had a chance. I'll watch it after the show. But Dave Chappelle just released a new stand-up.
Ooh.
And talking about playing ball and all that. A lot of people thought Dave Chappelle was crazy for turning down $50 million back in the day because he didn't want to quote, and I can't use that word, COON it out. Looking back, was Dave Chappelle crazy or was he onto some shit?
Dave Chappelle understood that all money ain't good money. Dave Chappelle understood. Here's the problem that we have right now in our society. Nicki Minaj just sold her soul for the mega Charlie Kirk wife brigade. And they roasting her ass right now. You out here buck dancing and putting down folks that help build you up. But that money, man, we all need it. We all gotta have it. But what you willing to do for it? How far you gonna go? What you willing to do? And for somebody like baby girl to do what she does, she went through enough stuff trying to get established on us and turn back around and flipped on everybody. You're married to a PDF, okay? You're married to a PDF, a brother that's been accused of PDF, and folks stood by you. That's your decision. That's your decision, okay? But now you sit down with homegirl that you know ain't got nothing but the stain for your ass, and it just don't make no sense. Dave understood back then. Hey man, I got to shave this face. I got to comb this hair. When I fire up a cigarette, I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror. I can't do certain things, and that's probably, and it worked out for him because he's dynamic enough and he's smart enough. Even when he says funny shit, that shit be hitting home like a son of a gun. You know, and I what really shocked me was his closing line. And I realized Dave's a Muslim. Oh shit. What he said.
I haven't seen it yet, so if it's a spoiler alert, don't spoil it. But I mean, go ahead. It's all good. It's all good.
I ain't gonna tell you. When he says what he said, his last line, he says something about his last line. I said, oh shit, that's right. Because Dave is a Muslim and lives in Ohio. Okay. So when you see it, I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody that haven't seen it yet, but I advise you to watch it, pay attention, because he says a lot of stuff that you go, you know what? That's crazy, but you might have a point there. I remember he even said something to respond to Bill Maher. Bill Maher, I like watching Bill Maher. Watch him every Friday when he's on the air. But Bill Maher was saying, he commented on Dave Chappelle making a statement that he felt had more free speech in wherever he was than he did in America.
Dubai or Saudi Arabia or something.
He in Dubai, yeah. You know, Dave, he talks about trans folks from time to time, and he can do that in Dubai because they don't, they're not feeling that. But over here, he can get canceled, for speaking his mind, whatever it may be. And he said it, but you got to watch it. But there will be a new media brawl, not brawl, but media feud. But after Dave Chappelle's response to Bill Maher on what he said about him, because I watched both of them, okay? And Dave's last line of his show will make you go, damn, you really don't give a damn, do you? Check it out.
Those last lines he always hits you with. I remember the last one he hit with was, well, damn, I ain't a nigga either, or something like that. I was like, damn, he just wrapped it up in a beautiful bow and said, fuck the world.
Nobody does it better. He don't tell jokes. He tells stories that make you think. Okay? He tells stories. And that one thing he did back in the day, I think he took something out of the fishbowl and gave the punchline first and told the story. And then I forgot about that. The last thing he hit it with the punchline. Man, that was one of the most hilarious things I've seen in a long time. In fact, I'm going to rewatch Dave after I get through doing this show.
Oh, I got to finish it up. All right, we got about a minute to go, so we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to ask you guys to hit that like button before we head out. If you have not already, really, really appreciate you doing that, and we appreciate you joining us, and we hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate out there. Make sure you check out Band Buzz, BandBuzz, BandBuzz, BandBuzz. Definitely support Lonzo in that venture, please. And join me as soon as the show's over in about a minute for my Christmas special. We're going to be talking about Curtis Blow's Christmas rapping, the Outkast Christmas song that became a surprise hit. We're going to talk about Christmas on Death Row. We're going to be talking about Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis. Join me. I'm going to put the link in the description or in the chat right now. Any last words, Lonzo, or you want to hit him with that outro?
We up out of here, folks. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold on the eve after dark, 50-yard line to Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit, because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.
Welcome to N.W.A. story with Lonzo, the godfather of the West Coast. Now you know, with Dusty Vision on the side, we ride, taking you back to where legends came alive. From ruthless roots to the studio scene, classic tales that the world's never seen. Every Tuesday night we spark the heat, from 6 to 7, history on repeat. So sit back, tap in, and enjoy the vibe. If you love hip hop, like and subscribe.